The vast diversity of the living world is far beyond our imagination. Life ranges from unicellular bacteria to multicellular animals, including humans. From unicellular plants such as algae to giant redwood trees that are more than 300 meters in height. In order to study the vast diversity of the living world, it is essential to classify and name each organism under various groups. Studying characteristics of a few representative organisms from each group gives a holistic view of the life existing on Earth. Study of morphological and anatomical characteristics of organisms helps establish relationships among them. It is believed that all living forms existing today have evolved from a common ancestor. Classification helps establish the evolutionary relationships among different organisms. The term taxonomy is derived from the Greek words taxis, meaning arrangement, and nomos, meaning law. Taxonomy is the study of the principles and practices of classification. In 1748, Swedish botanist and anatomist Carolus Linnaeus described and classified all plants and animals known at that time. Carolus Linnaeus is thus called the father of taxonomy. Taxonomy is a science that deals with the characterization, identification, classification, and nomenclature of organisms. Describing essential features of an organism is called characterization. Identification is recognizing an unknown specimen with an already known taxon and the assignment of an organism to a particular taxonomic group and ultimately to a species. Identification is done by referring an individual specimen to a previously and authentically classified and named group, or with the help of keys and descriptions given in various regional or state floras. Linnaean taxonomy classifies organisms into 7 major ranks called taxa, singular taxon. The taxa are kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. These categories or taxa form a taxonomic hierarchy which can be represented as an inverted pyramid. Organisms are grouped into an ascending series of successively larger and broader categories. According to the modern 5-kingdom classification, the entire living world is divided into 5 kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. However, under these 5 kingdoms are contained millions of living species. Thus, kingdom is a broad-level classification of an organism, and species is a smaller group that consists only of interbreeding organisms. For example, kingdom Animalia consists of phylum Chordata, that in turn consists of class Mammalia. Class Mammalia consists of different living species. Here, members of class Mammalia are a part of phylum Chordata and kingdom Animalia. After understanding the hierarchy of classification, let's take a look at the hierarchical classification of 2 living species belonging to different kingdoms. While classifying plants, rank phylum is replaced by division. Now, let's compare the hierarchical classification of 2 organisms belonging to the same kingdom. From their classification charts, it is easy to infer that both organisms belong to the same class Mammalia. Nomenclature is the system of giving scientific names to organisms. But what is the importance of giving scientific names? What we call lotus in English is called Kamala in Kannada, Padma in Bengali, and Lianhua in Chinese. Thus, having one standard, internationally accepted name allows precise recognition of an organism by scientists in all parts of the world. Scientific names ensure that each organism has only one name and that the name has not been used for any other known organism. The convention of naming organisms with two names is called binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature was introduced by Carolus Linnaeus, who is regarded as the father of taxonomy. Carolus Linnaeus published two books, Species Plantarum and Systema Naturae, where he described and named over thousands of plants and animal species. Thus, as per binomial nomenclature, the first component is the name of the genus to which the species belongs to, and the second part, the specific epithet, refers to the species within the genus. Naming of plant species is as per the principles and criteria laid down by the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, ICBN. Similarly, the International Code of Zoological Nomenclature, ICZN, deals with scientific names for animals. Scientific names of organisms are always printed in italics. Scientific names are drawn from Greek or Latin. The generic name of an organism always begins with a capital letter, and the specific epithet with a small letter. When handwritten, both the components of the name are underlined separately. The binomial name of an organism is followed by the name of the scientist who classified the species. The name of the scientist is written in an abbreviated form. The scientific name of lotus is thus read as Nelumbo nucifera Garten. The scientific study and description of the variation in living organisms and the relationships that exist between them is called systematics. Phylogeny involves the study of the evolutionary history of organisms. A fundamental assumption of phylogeny is that all life forms existing on Earth today have evolved from a common ancestor. The best method used to infer the phylogenetic relationship between organisms is cladistics. Cladistics uses evolutionary trees called cladograms and divides organisms into groups or clades that represent different branches on the tree. Each clade consists of a single ancestral organism and all its descendants. Let's look at some instances to understand how animals are classified on a cladogram. For example, this node represents the time when organisms evolved to produce amniotic fluid in their egg structures. Consequently, all organisms that descended continued with the same feature. Similarly, as time evolved, organisms evolved to become viviparous. All organisms that descended from this ancestor showed vivipary. Thus, the phylogenetic tree consists of nested clades that represent evolution of organisms over time. It is obvious that organisms belonging to the same clade are more closely related to each other than organisms located outside.